everyone, welcome to our channel Knowledge of Trend. सब्सक्राइब टू अवर चैनल एंड क्लिक द बेल आइकन फॉर द लेटेस्ट अपडेट। आज हम लोग वेब टेक्नोलॉजीज़ की क्लास करने वाले हैं, जो कि क्लास 2 है आपका। ऑलरेडी हमने फर्स्ट क्लासेस कर लिया है वेब टेक्नोलॉजी का। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इट्स अ ह्यूज रिक्वेस्ट टू ऑल द सब्सक्राइबर, दोज हु हैड सब्सक्राइब, those who had not subscribed our channel, please go through with the subscribe button, and those who had subscribed our channel, thanks for supporting us. And this is the new this is the new subject that we are going to start. In the last classes we had started, and this is the second class, and we'll end up with unit 1 as I told you about it. And then next coming class will cover up with unit 2, unit 3, unit 4, unit 5 as well. Let's go ahead with the session here. First of all is the huge request to all the subscriber, please go through with the subscribe button, and please like, share and subscribe our channel here. So as I told you about that, we'll start with how to create a one-dimensional array that in Java. So the syntax of declaring the array you have to know very well, and that has been asked in the many examination when they are asked about the array. So how to create a one-dimensional array in a Java, that you have to be very clear about it. So you just write it down: data type array dot dash name brackets and close that bracket. In this and to allocate the memory, we have to follow array name is equals to new data that type, जो भी उसका size होगा, that will be in the bracket here. So that to allocate the memory here. In this where the array name represent the name of the array, and the new is the keyword we used to allocate the memory for the array, and the data type specifies that the data type of the array elements, and the size represent the size of the array. For example, like we'll take about a equals to new int equals to 10. So this this is the sort of an example here. So we'll go ahead with another one, where how to create a two-dimensional array in Java. You have to know very well about how to create, as you know that how to create a one-dimensional array in Java. So you have to how to create a two-dimensional array in Java here. So here the syntax is, I'll just write it down. This is syntax. So here that is data type array dash name equals to new data type, and that is size. For example, for this we have, for example, that is we have is int a equals to new int 10. So method and classes we will discuss here, where we'll go ahead with a detail as well. And here that we have a general form of writing a class in the Java, and this is a methods and classes, where you have to be very full known about it, well how to write it down, the methods and classes as well. Let's go ahead with it that is the general form of writing a class in Java here. So we'll start writing this, and in this what you have to do, the question is explain the general form of writing a class in the Java. So we'll start with that only here. Class name, start a curly bracket, go ahead with this, and that is your class name, start a bracket, and that, as I told you about. Next we have a type variable and then we have a type variable 2, and then // dot, and then we have a type method 1, that is parameter list curly bracket dot, then start closing curly bracket, then type method 10 parameter list, then start curly bracket dot, then close curly bracket, then again closing curly bracket here. Then what we had to start above here. So after that, this is what you have to represent, how you have to represent the general form of writing a class in the Java here. Let's go ahead with another one, and that what we have to discuss is write a Java program to calculate a rectangle, calculate area of a rectangle and make use of a class in your program. That what we have to do it. And as you can see here that we have to write a program here, and for that sake we have go and start with write a program to calculate the area of rectangle, and that make use of a class in that in your program. So you have to write it out. This is a Java program which shows that the use of class in the program. So we'll start with the class rectangle, and this is a class rectangle, that class with an attribute and the method defined within it. So then start a bracket, then int height, int width, void area, int result, that is equals to height and width. That is the length area of a rectangle is length into breadth, so that we had represented here the system. So it will represent जावा में आपका जो हम प्रिंट कराते हैं वो system dot out dot print ln, फिर ये the area is in double inverted comma में +%. Okay, then after that closing inverted comma. Then after that we'll close the braces here. Now we'll start with the class that is the class demo here, that is the another class in which the main function is written. We'll start with another one, that is, as I told you about, that is the another class in which the main function is written. So here class demo, start a curly bracket, public static void main, then string args, then that is comes under in it the square bracket, and then this bracket. Then after that we have a start bracket here, then we have rectangle opt equals to new rectangle closing bracket. Now that is the objective opt dot height, will assign the value here 10. This is a setting the attribute value. Then we have another one, that is your obj dot width equals to 20. This is from the outside of the class. Now another line we have is, we'll just write it down here, obj dot area, and that what we have here. And here this is using the object method of the class that is called, and then curly bracket close. So what we'll get output here, this is an output, and what we'll get is the area is 200, sorry, ये 20 था, ये 10 है, और ये आपका नेक्स्ट वैल्यू जो है 20 है. तो 20 10 so that is 200, because the formula is the width into height here, so that is multiplied and the answer will be 200 here. Let's go ahead with another one. Now we'll talk about the package here. Before starting with the package, we have to know about the inheritance, that is also important. Explain the concept of inheritance in Java that they had asked you in the question paper. So in the Java, inheritance means that derived class borrows some properties of the base class. At the same time, the derived class may have some additional properties as well. In the regard of it, the inheritance, the class which is inherited is called the base class and or the superclass, and the class that does not does the inheriting is called as a derived class or a subclass. The inheritance can be achieved by incorporating the definitions of one class into the another using the keyword extends, and the subclass can be defined as we can say that the class name of subclass extends superclass, and the variable declaration, method declaration, and then a closing bracket, that we can solve it out. Now we'll discuss about the package and inheritance here. That is also an important one. They had asked you about define the term package in Java, write a purpose of the packages in Java. In the regard of it, the package is a mechanism in which a variety of classes and interfaces can be grouped together. In the regard of it, in the Java, packages are used to achieve the code reusability. That means the classes from the other programs can be easily used by the class without physically copying it to the current location as well. Now we'll talk about the import statement in Java. What is import statement in Java? That there are the two methods that comes under two in the terms of the import statement in Java here. That there are the two ways by which the import statement can be used in the Java. The method first is that we import the Java package class using the keyword import, and suppose we want to use the data that class stored in the java.util. The package is then we can write it down. Import statement is in the beginning of the program. It has been like, if I just write it down here, import java dot util dot date. So in this is your package name, and this is your class name. Okay, that you have to understood about it. The method 2 is there are the some situation in which we want to make use of the several classes stored in the package. Then we can write it as import java.util. So here the abstract sign means any class in the corresponding package here. Now we'll discuss about the methods of defining the interferences, why we are how we are defining the interferences. The interface that can be defined using the following syntax, like ss modifier interface, name of the interface, or return type method, that is the name, parameter 1, parameter 2, parameter 3, and till parameter n as well. The return type method name 1 is the parameter 1 and the parameter 2. The type static final variable name is equals to value as well. So here that the access modifier specifies whether the interface is public or not, and if the access is not specified for an interface, then that interface will be accessible to all the classes present in that package only. But if the interface declares where the access modifier specifies whether the interface is a public or not, as I told you about, if that the access is not specified for an interface, then that interface will be accessible to all the classes that is present in that package only. But if the interface is declared as public, then it will be accessible to any of the classes only. In the regard of it, the next question they can ask you is, what is the use of the interface in the Java, as I told you about. So interface in the Java is a collection of constants in an abstract method only, and following are some reasons of using the interface in the Java. The first reason is that interface contains the abstract method, hence it is used for obtaining the full abstraction. The second reason we have is that the multiple inheritance can be achieved in Java using the interface. The second reason that the use of the inheritance that we have is for using the interface in the Java is that once the interface with abstract method is created, it can be used by the various classes. Thus it is useful for providing the polymorphic behavior. The fourth reason is that interface is used to avoid the dependencies between the object as well. In the regard of it, we'll go ahead with the further one, and that is we'll deal with the exception handling. That, as you can see here in this, they can ask you to define the term exception, explain the exception handling mechanism in the Java here. In the regard of it, this is a try block, this is a catch block. In the try block, that is the exceptions causing statement, and this is an exception option objects get created here, and this is a throw exception object, and where the catch block, and in this, that is the exception handling statement, that is exception handler, we can say that. This is an exception handling mechanism. In this, the exception is an unusual condition that can occur in the program exception handling mechanism that allows the programmer to handle a runtime error situation gracefully without crashing the program. The reason first that the statement are likely to cause an exception are enclosed within a try block, and for these statement the exception is thrown, and there is another block defined by the keywords catch, which is responsible for handling the exception thrown by the try block as well. As soon as an exception occurs, it is handled by the catch block, and the catch block is added immediately after the try block here. In the regard of it, the following is an example of the try catch block. We can say that. So here I can write it on for those. That is the try. This is an exception gets generated here. Catch type of exception. Yes. Exception, we can just generate it like exception E, then start bracket. This is an exception handled here, close the bracket here. So this is a program, a sort of a program for the exception here. If any one statement in the try block generates the exception, then remaining statements are skipped and the control is less than transferred to the catch statement as well. Let's go ahead with another one that we have here is related to the difference between the throw and the throws here. So एक ऐसे थोड़ा सा difference बन जाता है, and you have to go through with that, and you can just write it down as well. So this is an important one as I told you about it. So here that they can ask you what is the difference between the throw and the throws in the exception handling in Java. So difference between the throws and throws here, that the first difference is that for explicitly throwing the exception, the keyword throw is passed, and the throws, that for declaring the exception, the keyword throws is used. The second difference is throw is followed by the instance, and in the throws, that throws is followed by the exception class. The third difference, throw is used within the method and the throws is used within the method signature. The fourth, we cannot throw multiple exceptions, and here that is, it is possible to declare the multiple exceptions using the throws as well. These are the four differences between the throws and the throws here. Now we'll discuss about the example of program for the throw here, and that what you have to do it. So here the examples program for the throws we have here is, that is a class exception throw, starter bracket, static void fun int a int b, then start another bracket, a curly bracket, and then int c. The three initialize here. If b equals to 0, so this is a throw new arithmetic exception that is divided by 0 else. So we'll just write it on throw new arithmetic exception divide by 0. Okay, this is the case. Then else, having here that is equals to c equals to a upon b, and that is the closing bracket, and where we have a public static void main, that is a string args, and then starting curly bracket, and a equals to 5 fun a equals to 0, then closing bracket. So now the output what we'll get is that exception in the thread of main java dot lang dot arithmetic exception that divided by 0. So we'll get an exception throws dot fun, that is exception throws dot java, that is 7, and then exception throws main exception throws java, that we have will get 14. For this we'll get an exception throws fun, that is exception throw java 7, and here that will get 14, that is an exception throw main exception throw dot java, that is your 14 here. Let's go ahead and examples program for the throws here, that what we'll we have to deal it. So here we have example program for throws. This we have, so we'll just do it here. Class exception throw starting static void fun int a int b throws arithmetic exception int c try c equals to a by b curly bracket, close the curly bracket. Then further we'll go ahead here that we have to do it, and that we have is your catch arithmetic exception e. So we'll print that system.out.println got exception plus e public static oh here that is public static void my main string args the small curly bracket, then start another bracket int a equals to 5 fun a comma 0 curly bracket, close the curly bracket, we will get it out, and here we'll get out an output that is your quad exception java dot lang dot arithmetic exception colon, that is double slash by 0. This will get output here. Now we'll discuss about another program that is explain the use of the finally keyword in the exception handling with the illustrate example that they had asked you about it. Here this is another question, that is write a Java program for handling a divide by 0 or error using an exception handling. Before that we'll start with the use of the finally keywords in the exception handling with the illustrate examples. So here that sometimes because of the execution of try block, the execution gets a break off, and due to this some important code which comes after throwing off an exception may not get executed, and that means that sometimes a try block may bring some unwanted things to happen, and the finally block that provide the assurance of executions of some important code that must be executed after the try block. And even though there is any exception in the try block, that the statement assured by the finally block are sure to execute as well. In the regard of it, there are the formula, there are the program also, that an example program like we do that this is a Java program that shows the use of the finally block of the handling exceptions. Like you can start with a class, and the class finally demo start a curly bracket, then public static void main string args the brackets and closing bracket, start another curly bracket, and then int a equals to 10 and b equals to -1, then try start curly bracket b equals to a by 0, closing curly bracket, then you will get caught arithmetic expression e, and start another curly bracket, then system.out.println that in catch a block that is in the bracket in inverted comma, and that is plus c, and then closing curly bracket, and finally then starting curly bracket here, and then that if b that dash is equals to -1, the system dot output dot println, then finally blocks executes without the occurrence of exceptions, and else system.out.println, then finally block executes on occurrence of the exceptions. Then again you have to close all the brackets, that is the three brackets you have to close it out. So here you will get the output as in the catch block, the java.lang.arithmetic expression, that is by divided by 0, and finally block executes on the occurrence of the exceptions here. So here we'll go ahead with another one, and that what we have to discuss, like that as you can see here, write a Java program for handling a divide by 0 error using the exception handling here. Go ahead with another question, that is write a Java program for the handling a divide by 0 using the exception handling here. So we'll start with that. Class, start curly bracket, that is public static void main string, then another starter bracket here, int a comma b comma c. A will assign the value a equals to 10, b equals to 0, then try c equals to a by b. This is an exception occurs because the element is divided by 0. So the another one we can write it down. Okay, this is the catch, closing bracket, catch arithmetic exception a, then another starter bracket here, curly bracket, that is system dot out dot print ln, that is slash n divide by 0. So this is what then exception is handled using the catch block. So closing the bracket, system dot out dot print ln slash n, the value of a is plus a, and for the another one, system dot out dot print ln slash n, the value of b plus b, then closing all the brackets. So this is the program where you can write a Java program for handling a divide by 0 error using the exception handling. Let's go ahead with another one, and that what we have to discuss about it, and that is about related to the thread here. Thread is also an important one. This has been asked in the 15-16 of 2 marks, and that is also an important one. So we'll go ahead with the consideration as well. So here in the regard of a thread, as you can see that the thread is a tiny program running continuously. It is a lightweight process here. In the Java we can implement the thread program using a thread class and using the runnable interface. So we'll write a program for both. Examples of the thread program using the thread class here. We'll start with the thread class, and then after that we'll start with the using the runnable interface here. So both are very important and you have to write it down. And this is a sort of a not that much long, but yes, of course it is long. So we'll go ahead one by one, that is using the thread class here. To start with that, class thread demo, what we'll write it down, extends thread. Okay, so we'll just draw a line, so that will break divided that into 2 half, so that we'll write it out separate a program for both. And for that sake we have another one, that will start with the curly bracket, then string str equals to, then this is an instruction, the thread is created, and the next pl thread demo string s, this is in constructor, str equals to s, start curly bracket, closing curly bracket, public void 1 curly bracket, that is a small bracket, then start another curly bracket, system, we will print it out. System dot out dot println, that is str double closing bracket, then public class thread that is equal to create, start another curly bracket, public static void main, will do ahead, public static void main string args, that will start with the curly bracket here, that is thread demo, t equals to new thread demo, one thread created, and then of course closing bracket, both closing bracket will end up with it. Now we'll example of the thread a program using the runnable interface. So we'll start with that, and here you can see so here we'll go ahead. Now for using the runnable interface, we'll write a program. So here we'll have to start with class thread demo implements runnable, start bracket, thread t, then string str thread demo string s, start another bracket, t equals to new thread this is an assigned value to the object of the thread, str equals to s, t dot start, this is the start of thread, start closing bracket, public void run, this is an execution of the thread. Now we'll print it out, system dot out dot print ln str, then closing both the brackets. Now another one, public class runnable, public static void main strings args, thread, okay, it is not visible, thread demo t equals to new thread demo, start another bracket from here only, one thread created, it is an invoke constructor, then closing both the curly bracket here. Now we'll discuss about what is the stream in Java, that is Java input output. In the regard of it, the stream is basically a channel on which the data flow from the sender to receiver. An input object that reads the stream of the data from a file is called an input stream, and the output object that writes the stream of the data to a file is called output stream. Where in the regard of it, we'll say that what are applets in Java. That is very important question that has been asked, and even though if they don't ask you, then do you know very well about it, you have to be familiar with Java applet. In that, the applet are the small Java program that can be used in the inter-networking environment. These programs can be transferred over the internet from one computer to another, and that can be displayed on the various web browser as well. Various applications of the applets are in the performing arithmetic operation, displaying the graphics, playing sounds, creating animations, and so on. These were the applications of applet. Now we'll discuss about what is an applet, how do applets differ from application program, and even though we'll discuss about the life cycles of applet, because these were the things that has been asked in 15 and 16. The applets are a small Java program that can be transferred over the internet from one computer to another and can be displayed on a various web browser. We'll go ahead with the difference here. We'll discuss about the difference between the applet and application. The applet and application here, the main application, the applets do not have main method. तो इनमें main method नहीं होता है, और application में application have a main method. Okay, इनमें main method होता है. So this is the difference, first difference between both. And the second difference we have is applet cannot run independently, and they cannot be either executed by embedding them into the web page or using the applet viewer that they can be executed. And in the application, that the application can execute independently without embedding it in any other document here. So we'll discuss about the life cycle here. These were the two differences between. So here life cycles की अगर हम बात करते हैं, life cycles, there are the various methods where they're typically used in an applet. The first life cycle we have is your initialization state. In the initialization state, what it is that when an applet gets loaded into loaded, it enters into the initialization state. For this purpose, the init that is the method is used, and this method you can initialize the required variable, and this method is called only once initially at the executions of a program. For that, as for example, like this is one init. Okay, it will start. This is an applet loaded. Then it will start and it will go on to running. Then after that it will go and revisit it, that is paint. Then after that, after running, it will go to the idle. It will go to the idle, so it will stop. When it will go from idle to running, it will start. After that, when idle, it will dead. So here that is destroy. That is, you also understood about it. This is exit browser. After the dead, it will end up. And this is applet destroy. I think you have been clear about it. In this method, the various tasks of the initialization can be performed, such as the first step is to creation of the object needed by the applet. The setting is setting up to the initial values. The third is the loading of image. The fourth is setting up of colors as well. This is the first step. So for second step we have is your, that is running state. In this running state, when the applet enters into the running state, invokes the start method to the applet, as I told you about the figure. And here this method is called only after the init method, and after stopping the applet when we start the applet at that time, also this method is invoked. The third we have is, the third method we have is, the third cycle we have is display state. Display state. In the display state, the applet enters into the display state when it wants to display some output. This may happen when an applet enters into the running state. The paint method is for displaying or drawing the contents on the screen. An instance of the graphics class has to be passed to this function as an argument. In this method, the various operations such as display of text, circles, lines are invoked here. Now the next fourth step we have is idle state. In the idle state, This is an idle state in which the applet becomes idle. The stop method is invoked when we want to stop the applet. When an applet is running, if we go to the another page, then this method is invoked. For the next one, that is the fifth state and the fifth life cycle that we are processing it, that is your dead state. In the dead state, that is when an applet is set to be a dead, then it is removed from memory, and the method destroy is invoked when we want to terminate the applet completely and want to remove it from the memory. Then we'll go ahead with the detail that is in the dead state here. Let's go ahead with another one, that is the string handling, where we have to know about the write a program in just write it down, write a program in Java which makes use of string data type. In this, where we have to write a program here, and we have to be focused on when we are doing so. So yes, we'll start with it. Class string demo start bracket public static void main strings args start another bracket string s equals to hello, how are you. System dot out dot print lns closing the bracket. Now we'll do another one, that is describe any 5 commonly used method used by the string class here. In the regard of it, we'll discuss about the method and the description. So method is, that is s1 dot char1, that is the position. So that is the description is written the character present at the index positive positions, and the s1 dot compared to, that is s2, that is if s1 is less than s2 then it returns positive, and if s1 is greater than s2 then it returns negative, and if s1 is equals to s2 then it returns 0. s1 dot concat s2, that is it returns the concatenated string of s1 and s2, and s1 dot equals to, that is s2, that is if s1 and s2 are both equal then it returns true, and s1 dot index of that it returns the first occurrence of the character c in the string s1, and s1 dot length, it gives the length of the string s1 here. Now we'll discuss about the event handling technique in the Java. In the event handling technique in the Java here, event means that an activity that interrupts the current that is ongoing activities. For example, when the user clicks mouse on a press some key from keyboard during the some processing, then it generates an event. And in the Java, events represent all the activity that is created carried out between the user and the application, and some specific actions are associated with these events. Java's abstract windowing toolkit, जिसे हम AWT कहते हैं, that is to convey these actions to the programs, and when the users interact with the program, let us say that by clicking a button, the system creates an event representing the click action and passes it to the event handling code within the program, and this code is responsible for giving the appropriate response as well. If I'm talking about the AWT, we'll have to write down some of the short notes related to that. In that, the graphics programming in Java is supported by the AWT package, and that the AWT stands for the abstract window toolkit. I will just write it down. The AWT contains the large numbers of the classes, which helps to include the various graphical components in the Java program. And these graphical components include the text box, buttons, labels, radio buttons, list items, and so on. And we need to import the java.awt, that package, for the using these components as well. Now we'll classify the AWT hierarchy here, and that is, the first we have is the components. This is java.awt.package. Components are, that is another one we have is container. Then after that, it will divide it into two. The first we have is window, second we have is panel. For the window, that is two as well, divided into two. The first is frame, the second is dialog. In the panel, this is one only, this is an applet. This is AWT hierarchy. In this, the hierarchy components are classes, like in the talking about the components here, this is a super class of all the graphical classes from which the variety of the graphical classes can be derived, and it helps in displaying the graphical objects of the on the screen, and it handles the mouse on the keyboard events as well. In the case of the container here, that is, this is a graphical components derived from the component class, and it is responsible for managing the layout and the placement of the graphical components in the container. Talking about window here, that is, it's decide the layout of the window, and the panel here, that is, the panel class is derived from the container class, and that it is just similar to the windows without any border and without any menu bar, title bar as well. Now talking about the frames here, that is, this is a top level window with a border and a menu bar, and it supports the common window events such as windows open, close, activate and deactivate as well. Now we'll talk about if I'm talking about you have to write a Java program to place the two buttons controls OK and the cancel on the output window here. So what you have to do it in that case, that it import Java, that is dot abstract, and the class use button, that is the starter curly bracket, public static void main string, and then after that frame fr is new frame, and this the program is displaying the button as well, fr 400 comma 200, and fr new flow layout, and for fr that is true, and for that button b1, that is new button OK, and the button b2, and that is new button, that is cancel, and that for add b1 and for add b2, then close the bracket, and you can write it on the program as well. In the regard of it, if I'm talking about what is the use of the layout manager in the Java, that lists the various types of the layout manager use. So in listing of these, we have a three list here, and that are as follows. First is a flow layout, the second is your border layout, the third is grid layout. In the case of these three, a layout managers is an interface which automatically arranges the control on the screen, and the using layout manager links symmetric and asymmetric arrangement of the control is possible, and various layout managers, that is your flow layout, border layout and the grid layout as well. Now we'll discuss short answers question with this answers as well, that they can ask you what is protocol. So in the case when they are ask you about what is protocol, that protocol are the set of the rules used for defining the communication between any two computers in the network, and list out some commonly used protocols in the web. So some commonly used protocol is HTTP, FTP, TCP, IP, POP3, SMTP and so on. They can ask you what is FTP and explain its uses. So FTP stands for the file transfer protocol. As I told you, it is used during the transfer of the files in between the two computers. User makes use of the FTP protocol while downloading the file from the server, and explain the significance of HTTP. So HTTP stands for the hypertext markup language. It is used during the communication between the web browser and the web server. What was domain name system, that is DNS. The domain name system is used for locating the computer uniquely in the network, and the names are used to identify the computer within a network are called domain names, and thus domain name is the name given to the network for human references. The next thing I can ask you about the website. So what is website? Website is a collection of interlinked web page which is designed for some definite purposes. What do you understand by the web technologies? Web technologies is a technology that acts as an interface between the web client and the web server. It includes the markup languages, programming interface, online presentation tools, Java applets, video editing tools, and so on. In the reference towards it, use of web browser, you are using web browser nowadays, I think. That is a web browser are used by the users to make the required request for the displaying the web page, and the request is made to the web services. Some popularly used web browser, that is Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome. What is the use of the web server? The web server are for the processing the requests made by the users of a particular web page. Name some popularly used web servers, that is IIS web server and Apache web server. Now we'll go ahead here. So as of further, what is project management skill? So the project manager must have a communication skill, and that it can convey the appropriate picture of the project to his team and the client as well. Now we'll discuss about what are the advantages of early planning. Following are the advantages of early planning. The first we have is that the project objectives, client expectations and user needs can be collected, and major issues get sorted out during the planning before the actual development of the project starts. These were the two advantages of the early planning. And now we'll discuss about explain two important characteristics of web team. So web projects and the content developer are the two key members of the web team, and the important characteristics of them are: project manager must be able to communicate properly with the clients, and the second is the content developer must have an ability to develop interactive content for the website as well. Now we'll discuss the quality assurance and discuss its role, and a role that has been asked in 11 and 12 of 2 marks. The quality assurance, that it is a planned and a systematic activities necessary to provide a high degree of the confidence in the quality of the product. And the role is that it provides a quality assessment of the quality control activities and determines the validity of the data and the procedures for determining the quality. The primary task of the quality assurance is to define or select the standards. Now we'll discuss more in detail about a very important thing, that is your JDK, JRA and JIT. These and JVM as well. So in each every one, JDK, that is asked in the 1516. JDK is the Java Development Kit, is a software development environment used for the developing the Java application. JRE is the Java Runtime Environment, is a software package that helps to run the Java program, and the JRE is a subset of JDK. JIT, that is just in a time compiler, is a program that converts the Java bytecode into the instruction that can be sent directly to the processor to execute on that platform. And the JIT compiler comes with the Java virtual machine, that is JVM. In the regard of JVM, JVM is the Java virtual machine, is an abstract machine which provides the runtime environment in which the Java byte can be executed. The mention the usage of the private access specifier, this has been asked in the 16 and 17. So the private access specifier, that is the method or the data members that is declared as private and accessible only within the class in which they are declared, and any other classes of the same package will not be able to access their members. These will end up with unit 1 and will start with another one with unit 2, and that will start in the next coming classes. So we'll end up with here. And first of all, it's a huge request to all of you, please go through with the subscribe button and please like, share and subscribe our channel so that many and maximum people can get the information at once, even though you can also enjoy the video as well. In the unit 1, as I told you about the introduction, that is the introduction and the web development strategies, history of the web and internet, protocols governing web, writing web projects, connecting to internet, introduction to internet services and tools, introduction to the client server computing core Java, and introduction operators and data type, variables, array, method and classes, inheritance, package and interfaces, exception handling, multi-threaded programming, input output, Java applet, string handling and event handling, introduction to AWT and AWT controls and layout managers, that what we had discussed in the unit 1 here. Now in the next coming classes, in unit 2 we'll discuss unit 2, that is a web page designing, that is HTML, list, table, image, frames, forms, CSS, document type definition, XML, DTD, XML schemes, object models, presenting and using the XML, using the XML processors, DOM and SACs, and dynamic HTML as well. Then the next unit, unit 3rd, that is the scripting, JavaScript, introduction, documents, forms, statement, functions, objects, introduction to Ajax. And the networking में internet addressing, inet address, factory method, instant method, TCP/IP, client socket, URL connection, TCP/IP server socket, and datagram. Then unit 4 में enterprises Java Bean, that is preparing a class to be a Java Bean, creating a Java Bean properties, types of beans, stateful sessions beans and stateless session beans, entity beans as well. The Java database connectivity, that is JDBC, that is merging the data from the multiple tables, that is joining the manipulating database with the JDBC, prepared statement, transaction processing, stored procedure as well. Unit 5th, that is a servlet, that is servlet overview and the architecture interference, interface servlet and the servlet life cycle, handling HTTP get a request, handling HTTP post a request, redirecting request to the other resources, session tracking, cookies, session tracking, and HTTP session as well. The Java server pages, that is JSP, that is introduction, Java server pages overview, or first Java server page like examples, implicit objects, scripting, the standard actions, directives, custom tag libraries that we'll discuss in the next coming further classes. First of all, it's a huge request to all the subscribers. Please go through with the subscribe button, and please like, share, and subscribe our channel so that many and maximum people can get the information at once, and even though you can also enjoy the video as well. Thank you, hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and give a suggestion on a comment box. Please like, share, and subscribe our channel. Thanks for subscribing us.